Hi, welcome back everybody to our video blog. We're glad to have a special guest with us today and something new we're going to try, and that is to try to bring our coaches onto the blog every now and then and have a conversation with them about the state of their programs, the future, and how they feel about where things are. And we think it's appropriate that we have Coach Bill Cohen, our men's head basketball coach, with us for the first of these series, because it is that time of the year. It's March Madness. We're a week in, if you will, to March Madness, and Bill, you're about 10 days removed from the end of your season, so the timeliness of it is appropriate. And then, we've been getting some chatter out there in ether land, if you will, about the university's commitment to basketball, the future of the basketball program, and people's passion for our basketball team, which is a good thing. We want to have people talking about our program because it means they care, and so we figured, why not take advantage of this this format and have a conversation. So thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So as you look at the tournament now and you think back on your season, how do you feel about your season? How do you feel about where you are as a program in regard to where you were when you came in? And just let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, first, as you mentioned, Peter, this is the most exciting time of the year. If you're any type of college basketball fan, between all the postseason tournaments, but in particular the NCAA tournament. And when you see the games go on, you see the excitement, I think the first thing that comes to mind is you want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And so, and we do desperately.
Yeah.
That's our goal, and that's our administration's goal. And, when I came here 6 years ago, I don't know that everything was in place in order to really honestly predict that we could do that. We've made unbelievable strides from an infrastructure standpoint, from a commitment to the men's basketball program, to investment in the digital capabilities, to where our games are now all in high definition. Just so much has improved, from facilities between Matthews and Arena and our locker room. We really feel
game experience with the kids, the students.
The end zone has been, it just speaks to the innovative nature of our student body. We came up with the idea that we should kind of bring them down to the floor, and they just took it and ran with it. Yeah. And there's a core group of students that really impact our play on the court. They're there each and every game. They line up outside the building before the game, and one of the most unique things in college basketball is they form that tunnel as we leave the court, win or lose.
Yeah, that's nice.
And they're very, very supportive of my players, and I can't say enough about that group and how appreciative I am for their support.
Yeah.
And when they come out and support us like that, and when they do, they make an incredible difference. In our play.
I was going to ask you about that, because when we go on the road, in the CAA in particular, it's already difficult because the teams are so good, but the environments that we play in are incredible, right? I mean,
some of
VCU,
the best in college
Old
basketball.
Dominion.
Some great facilities, some great fan bases, and we're proud to be a part of the CAA. It's the exact right conference to be in. It's the best non-conference BCS basketball conference in the country. I think last year proved out again with VCU making the Final Four. We've had 2 teams make it to the Final Four. It's where you want to be if you're a competitor. Yeah. And we're in the right spot. Over the last 6 years, we've been 500 or better in that league, 5 out of the 6 years, and really only the elite group in the conference can say that, make that same claim, and we're very proud of that. Yet we're not satisfied. Yeah, we're right there. We're knocking on the door, and we're strategizing. Obviously, with yourself and with President Aoun and Philly Mantella, on how can we get us to the next step? Because everybody, while I'm happy to be here with you today, I would love to be coaching somewhere on the sideline today with my team, and that's the goal for everybody to get there.
So when you think about a year ago, VCU goes to the Final Four, and yet we beat them pretty handily here. And we've done that against other teams where teams have gone on and played pretty well, and we've done more than our share to compete. So there's got to be a level of frustration, but also a level of optimism. What do you think the gap is, or where do you think we need to go, or how do you feel about your team as it's constructed with what you know about your recruiting class, and then when you look at the rest of the league, where do you think you are?
I think.
Especially with Quincy and Reggie and
yeah, no question.
When
you look at the freshman class here and Quincy Ford and Reggie Spencer and their potential, you have to be excited about Northeastern basketball. And then we return essentially everybody from this year's team except for our lone senior Kashif Edwards.
Yeah.
So we have a team that's experienced and seasoned. And this group has done some really fine things. We had a nice win down at St. John's.
Right.
We've played some pretty good basketball. We had a great win against George Mason at the end of the year, and beat a Vermont team that had a nice win last night.
Right.
So we're close. Part of that is physically maturing and mentally maturing and getting older and more experience, and part of that is adding a couple more pieces.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that this spring signing period we'll be able to add some pieces that'll move us a step closer to our ultimate goal, and that's to playing in the NCAA tournament. And
given some of the issues that happened this year with injuries, you're going to get a player that's pretty good coming back who's already been with us, and that's Dinko, right? And 6'11".
We're going to add a 6'11" center, and he's had a tremendous year of rehab. Our sports med program has done an outstanding job in rehabbing him and making sure that he's ready to go and ready to compete. And he's got that hunger now. After the game's been taken away for a little bit, you come back with a renewed commitment and ready to really make a statement. And I think Dinko's ready to do that.
Do you how much of a disadvantage is it that you're playing in one facility but you're practicing in another? Is that a fairly unique situation? And how do you overcome that? Can you overcome that?
Yeah, I think, I was over at Boston College for a number of years, and we had this very similar situation. I think our guys are extremely comfortable playing at Matthews. I'm not sure that, more practice time would make that any better. Mm-hmm. When we go in there, we shoot the ball well in that building. Guys are excited. Like I said, I don't know of any other college environment where the students are surrounding it on the floor and give you that atmosphere.
And it hasn't impacted recruiting. You don't think it's a negative necessarily, or do you think that?
No, not at all. In terms of practicing there, no, not at all. The young men that we're dealing with, they're interested in education. Mm-hmm. They're interested in opportunity. They're interested in those things. And I often tell guys in recruiting that if you're interested in arenas and locker rooms, I'm probably not your guy. But if you're interested in education and relationships, this is the exact right spot for you. And one of the other things I think that I'm grateful for is the administration has allowed me to keep continuity on my staff. Yeah. And as a head coach, you're only as good as your assistants. And I know when I first got here, we had trouble making ends meet with our staff, and I lost some really valuable people over those couple of years, but the commitment the university has made has allowed me to keep continuity, and this will be, the third straight year where we have our staff intact, and that impacts recruiting and everything else, and so that's been a great advantage.
Good. So if you had a message that you wanted to send to Northeastern basketball fans about where we are now and what's coming, what would you say to them?
I would say, I'm looking at the trajectory. It's much like the trajectory of the university as a whole. Where you look at where Northeastern was and where it is now and where it's going, it's off the charts. Maybe the highest trajectory in the country from an institution standpoint. I feel that same way about our program. I feel like where we were 6 years ago to where we are now is vastly different, vastly improved, and but we're not satisfied. Because we all want the ultimate goal, and we want to be successful, and we want to be counted as excellent. But I feel with the class that we have here now, this core group of guys, based on their character, their commitment to being a good basketball team, and the future of Northeastern basketball is just bright.
And it's exciting because you've got a really nice home schedule, especially the non-conference schedule next year. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and this is probably the first time, that we could have that type of schedule built in. Again, affordable by the commitment by the university. We'll have Massachusetts come back and play us in our own building. We'll have LaSalle come play us in our own building. We'll have BU in our own building. We'll have Vermont in our own building. You know, it goes on and on. And
UNC
I think we'll,
Asheville.
Yeah, UNC Asheville from the Bracket Buster
NCAA
game.
Tournament team. Well, we look forward to having the end zone in full force. All of our alumni and fans coming out to support what we hope is going to be a really exciting year next year. And you know, I can't thank you enough, Bill, for your leadership and how you've gone about building the program. It's something that we're really proud of. The kids have done well academically, they've done well socially, and obviously they're representing us well on the court. So we feel like we could not have a better person leading the program. I'm excited to be partnering with you. And we hope that this has been helpful to all the folks out there that care deeply about Northeastern athletics and Northeastern basketball. And we look forward to doing this some more with some of our other programs down the road. And as always, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.